Today I wanted to show you how to make Vamazelli. What Vamazelli is a sweet and rich, creamy noodle dessert that is usually made in Guyanese households. It's made for holidays or just to have as dessert. It's quick and easy, and I would recommend it to anybody who wants something sweet to eat. So let's go over the ingredients. I have 5 ounces of Vamazelli or Vermicelli noodles, and I have them here in the bowl. I'm only using half a pack today, so it's 5 ounces that I'm using. And this is the brand that I'm using, the Guyanese Pride brand. I'm also going to use some carnation milk or evaporated milk, half a stick of cinnamon, some butter, some whole milk, and some condensed milk as my sweetener. All of the ingredients and the measurements will be in the description box below, so please look for that at the end of the video. So what I want to start by doing is, I did not mention, but I have some water boiling in my pot right here. What I want to do is put my cinnamon stick in the water and give that a little stir. Basically what this step does is give the Vamazelli its flavor. So the main flavor that we use is cinnamon. If you wanted to add some cloves, this would be the time to add it also. I prefer not to. I just like to keep it simple with the cinnamon. So what we're going to do next is we're going to crush up our Vamazelli noodles. Now you want to crush them because when you're patching them or when you're roasting them, you don't want really big pieces in the pot. So I've just crushed them up a little bit and they're ready to go on the stove when I'm ready. So while that water is boiling there, I'm also going to add in my carnation milk. And my regular milk. And my condensed milk. Now I sprayed the measuring cup before I added in my condensed milk, so this way it could get out a little easier. But I'm also going to have to scrape it out just a little. Now I'm using condensed milk instead of sugar because it adds more creaminess and richness to the dessert while adding the sweetness. So instead of using sugar, I opted for this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let the milk and the cinnamon come up to a boil, and then we'll get into parching or roasting our vermicelli noodles. You want to give it a quick stir so this way all of the condensed milk gets dissolved into the milk mixture. You want to let it come up to a boil and simmer for about 5 minutes so that cinnamon flavor gets through the milk. I'll show you when it comes up to a boil and when we're ready to take it off of the stove. So my milk's come up to a rolling boil, and I had it simmering on the stove here for about 5 minutes. As you can see, I've also dipped out the cinnamon because it's done its job. It's given me the flavor that I wanted to give. So now we're going to patch our Vamazelli. So I'm going to carefully take this off of the stove, leave it in the corner there. I'm going to put up another pot onto the stove. And you want to do this on a high heat. So I'm going to add in my butter. I'm going to let that melt. So this butter is mostly melted. I'm going to add in my Vamazelli noodles. Now remember I told you I crushed up my Vamazelli noodles because when you're stirring it around the pot, you don't want really big pieces of Vamazelli flying around. So what you want to do basically is get all of the noodles coated in this butter, and you want to just stir it around, and we're going to patch it or let it get brown and toasted for about 20 to 25 minutes. Now, there are two versions of Vamazelli that people make in their households, and the type of Vamazelli that I'm showing you guys today is the soupier version, and you can eat it with a spoon. The other version is what we call Vamazelli Cake. Now that one we cook a little thicker, and then we'll put it in a pan to set, and then we'll cut it. I'll show you guys that recipe soon in another video. So I'm just going to keep stirring this around, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like about halfway through the patching process. I just wanted to show you guys here. This is what the Vamazelli looks like after 5 minutes of patching. You can see that the noodles have changed color just slightly, but we still have a ways more to go. You want to see them all get golden brown. Some of them will end up getting a little black, and that's what you want, a little color contrast. So I'm going to leave it for about another 15 minutes, and I'll come back and show you guys what it looks like. So here's my Vamazelli after it's been patching for about 10 more minutes. You can see the color is really starting to change. Pieces at the bottom are starting to get nice and brown. I'm going to leave it here more for a little longer, so this way you can get it a little darker. Basically what this step does is it gives the noodles a nuttier flavor versus you just boiling these noodles in the milk. It gives it a whole new depth of flavor. So I'm going to patch this for about 5 minutes more, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like when we're ready to add in our milk. I also wanted to let you guys know that this is only a half pack that I'm using. Out of the 10 ounces, I'm just using the 5 ounces. This will serve about 4 to 6 people, depending on how large your serving sizes are. So everybody, this is what the Vamazelli noodles look like after they've been parching for exactly 20 minutes. You see some of them are very dark, some of them are still a little light. It's a beautiful contrast of colors that you'll see once it's done cooking. So for the next step, it's time to add in our milk, so this way these noodles can cook through. So what you want to do is get any kids out of the kitchen, because this is a little dangerous, and you want to be careful yourself. If you're a beginner in the kitchen, you might want to have somebody else do this with you. So I'm going to lower the heat all the way to low. And what I'm going to do is take all of my milk and I'm going to add it in. You want to pour it away from you. So I've poured in all of my milk here. You're going to see it's pretty liquidy right now, but it's going to thicken up because these noodles are going to soak up most of this liquid. So you want to leave it here on a medium-low heat until the noodles cook. So I'm going to give this about 10 minutes on a slow boil. You want to keep stirring because at this point it'll start to catch at the bottom. What catch means is basically it'll start sticking at the bottom and then it might burn. So just want to be careful with that and keep stirring. I also wanted to let you guys know that I've only used a minimal amount of condensed milk because I do not like my Vamazelli too sweet. So in the description box below, I'll be putting a range of condensed milk that you can add from not so sweet to sweet enough that everybody would like. So I'm going to have this cook for about 5 to 10 minutes, more, and then I'll show you guys the finished product. So there you have it, everyone. The Vamazelli is done. I boiled it for about 15 minutes on a medium-low heat, and you can see it's nice and thick. I just wanted to also tell you guys that I added in some extra water during the cooking process because it was getting a little too thick too fast on the stove. So I'm gonna dish this out and show you guys the finished product. So there you have it, everyone, my finished Vamazelli. I've served it up here and it's ready to eat. So if you guys like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see me cook next. Thanks for watching.